Picture this. You wake up one morning, shuffle into the kitchen in your socks, still half asleep. And there it is, a dead mouse, right in the middle of the floor, or maybe a mangled bird, or a lizard that's somehow still alive, just barely, and your cat is sitting right next to it, staring at you with the most proud, satisfied expression you have ever seen on a living creature. So here's the question nobody ever really answers: why? Most people laugh it off. They say, "Oh, that's just cats being weird." Some people get grossed out, grab a paper towel, and try to forget it ever happened. And a few people genuinely wonder if their cat is trying to threaten them. But here's the thing. None of those reactions come close to understanding what's actually going on. Because when your cat drops a dead mouse at your feet and looks up at you with those slow, half-lidded eyes, something deeper is happening here. Something that goes back thousands of years, something rooted in instinct, emotion, and a kind of love that most humans never stop to recognize. And by the time this video is over, I promise you, you will never look at those gifts the same way again. In fact, one of the reasons your cat does this might genuinely surprise you. Stay with me. Let's start at the beginning. Not your beginning, but your cat's. Long before cats were curled up on sofas and featured in 10,000 memes, they were hunters. Precise, patient, incredibly skilled hunters. And even though your cat has a bowl of food sitting in the kitchen, even though they have never once in their life needed to hunt to survive, that instinct is still there. It never left. It's woven into every muscle, every reflex, every quiet moment when they crouch low and stare at something you can't even see. Hunting isn't just something cats do, it's something cats are. But here's where the story gets interesting. Because hunting alone doesn't explain the gift. If your cat just wanted to hunt, they'd hunt and move on. They wouldn't drag the result across the house, deposit it deliberately at your feet, and then wait, sometimes impatiently, for your reaction. That's not just instinct. That's communication. What most owners don't realize is that the act of bringing you something isn't the end of a hunt. It's the beginning of a conversation. Think about how cats live in the wild, specifically in groups, not the solitary image we often have of them, but in colonies, in families. Mother cats are the center of that world. And one of the most important things a mother cat does when her kittens are young is teach them how to survive. She doesn't just feed them, she shows them, she brings them prey. Sometimes it's already dead, sometimes it's still moving, and she places it in front of them and watches, because she is passing down the knowledge they need to make it in the world. Now look at your cat. Look at what they're doing when they bring you that mouse. They are doing exactly the same thing in your cat's mind, and this is something animal behaviorists have studied and documented. You are part of their family, not the owner, not the human who fills the bowl. Family. And because you are family, and because your cat has decided somewhere deep in their instincts that you are not a particularly skilled hunter, they are trying to help you. They are teaching you. It sounds almost funny when you say it out loud, but sit with it for a second. Your cat looks at you every day. They watch you move through the world, and in their quiet, observational way, they have concluded that you need guidance. You cannot hunt. You are, in their honest assessment, a little helpless. And so they bring you what they've caught, not to disgust you, not to show off, to provide for you, to make sure you survive. That's not weird behavior, that's devotion. But here's what I really want you to hold on to as we go deeper, because there's a layer to this that almost nobody talks about. Something about what your cat is actually asking for when they bring you these gifts. And it has nothing to do with prey, or hunting, or survival. I'll get to that in a moment. Keep watching. Here's another piece of the story that changes everything once you see it. Cats, by nature, do not share easily. They are territorial. They are protective of resources. Food, space, their favorite patch of sunlight on the floor, all of it theirs. This isn't selfishness. It's survival programming that runs incredibly deep. So when your cat takes something they hunted, something that represents their greatest skill, their proudest achievement in any given day, and they bring it to you, they are choosing to share it with you. They are actively overriding one of their strongest instincts because their bond with you is stronger. Animal behaviorists who study domestic cat behavior have noted this repeatedly. The gift isn't just an offering, it's a trust signal. It's your cat saying without words, "I trust you enough to give you this. You are safe, you are mine, you matter." Think about what that means. In a world that is still, on some cellular level, about survival and competition, your cat has looked at you and decided you are worth lowering their guard for. Worth sharing with, worth the vulnerability of showing you what they're capable of. And what most owners do in response is make a disgusted face and throw it in the trash, which honestly is fine. Your cat will forgive you. They always do. Now we get to the part of the story that I think is the most beautiful and the most overlooked. Watch your cat after they bring you something, not just at the gift, at them, watch their body language, their posture, the way they hold their head, the way they look at you and wait. What are they waiting for? Your reaction? Here's the thing about cats that we often get wrong. We think of them as indifferent. We call them aloof, mysterious, emotionally unavailable. We joke that they don't care about us, that we're just staff, that they'd replace us tomorrow if someone with better treats came along. But the research tells a very different story. Studies on cat attachment, real, peer-reviewed behavioral studies, have found that cats form genuine emotional bonds with their owners. They experience something that functions very much like anxiety when their person is gone. They show preference, recognition, comfort. The connection is real. And when your cat brings you a gift, they are not being indifferent. They are being vulnerable. They are doing something meaningful to them and offering it to you, and then watching very carefully to see how you respond. They want acknowledgement. They want connection. Something deeper is happening here than most people ever stop to consider. Your cat is asking to be seen, not praised in the way a dog might leap for, not rewarded with a treat, just noticed, met in the moment, included. When you look at your cat after they've left something at your feet, even if you're horrified, even if you say, "Oh no, not again," and you make eye contact and speak to them, you are giving them exactly what they came for. You are answering the question they asked. Do I matter to you? And every time you respond, even imperfectly, you are saying yes. There's one more layer here, and it's the one that, when I first learned it, genuinely stopped me in my tracks. Not all cats bring their owners gifts. And the cats that do, they tend to be the ones who are most deeply bonded to their person. Think about that. Indoor cats who never go outside rarely do this. Cats who are less attached, who keep more distance, who are less socialized, don't do this. The behavior appears most often in cats who have a strong, consistent relationship with their human. Which means if your cat has ever dropped something at your feet, even something small, even a toy they've carried across the house, you are one of the chosen ones. You are not just a person to them. You are their person. Animal behaviorists describe this as a form of social bonding behavior that mirrors what we see between cats in close-knit colonies. The ones who bring gifts to each other are the ones who are most tightly connected. It is an expression of the inner circle, of belonging. Your cat has decided you belong in their world at the deepest level they know how to express. And honestly, in a world where connection can feel complicated and fragile and hard to come by, there's something quietly extraordinary about a small creature looking at you and deciding, without language, without expectation, that you are worth bringing their best to. So the next time you wake up and find something unpleasant waiting for you on the kitchen floor, take just 1 second before you reach for the paper towel. Look at your cat. See them, maybe for the first time, clearly, not as a weird, gross, unpredictable creature who doesn't understand the rules, but as someone who has looked at you and made a decision, who has taken the most instinctive, natural, deeply important thing they know how to do and offered it to you, who is standing there, waiting, with every version of love they are capable of giving written across their whole small body. They can't say, "I care about you." They can't sit you down and have a conversation. They can't write it in a card or send a text or show up with flowers. But they can bring you a mouse at 6 in the morning and look up at you like you are the whole world. And maybe, just maybe, that's enough. Maybe that's more than enough. Because the truth is, your cat doesn't bring you gifts because they're strange. They bring you gifts because you are theirs. Because in the ancient, unspoken language of the creatures who chose to live alongside us thousands of years ago, this is the highest thing they know how to say. I see you. I trust you. I want you to survive. I want you to stay. That's what the gift means. Every year, single time. And if that doesn't make you want to go find your cat and just sit with them for a little while, I don't know what will. If your cat has ever brought you a gift, tell me about it in the comments. I genuinely want to know, what did they bring and what did you do? Because every single one of those stories is a little piece of a bond that's been building for thousands of years. And if you want to understand your cat even more deeply, there's another video right here that will show you something about their behavior that most people never figure out. I think you're going to love it. Take care of yourselves and take care of your cats. They're paying attention.